Hey guys, today's going to be a quick product review talking about these three 30-ounce vacuum insulated tumblers. I've owned them for 2 months now and I want to share my thoughts and tell you which one you should buy. On the left we have the Yeti, which comes in at $35. Middle of the road is the Yuka-Ola. You can get this on Amazon for $10. And then on the right is the Ozark Trail. You get it at Walmart for about $9. I'll try and drop links to all these down below. Now, getting a few things out of the way, these are all made in China. They all claim to be BPA free. They're all vacuum insulated 18/8 stainless steel construction. The dimensions are almost identical. The lids are all interchangeable. And the Ozark Trail comes in at 14.4 ounces, the heaviest. The Yeti at 14.1 ounces. And the Yuka-Ola, I'm not sure how to even say that, is the lightest at 11.4 ounces. Let's give them the old tap test. Hopefully you could hear that. These two sound identical, and this one sounds like much thinner steel, which it is 3 ounces lighter too. Now let's talk about these lids. By far my favorite is the Yeti with the mag slide on it. This thing is super convenient, and there's nowhere for bacteria and crud to really get jammed where you wouldn't be able to get to it. And so it's not watertight. If you flip it upside down, it's going to trickle out. However, shaking around, nothing will come out of here. Definitely not watertight though. On the Amazon one, this one sucks. It actually sits on here a little bit loose, as you can hear. Like the other ones don't do that. They're much snugger. And when you pull it off, this O-ring seems to be looser on here. I don't like that. It doesn't have anything sealing this. And it did come with a stainless steel straw, which I don't have it in the picture right now, but that's okay. So that lid's not great. The Ozark Trail, I like this lid because it's watertight. So if you throw this in a backpack and dump it upside down, it's not going to come off and it shouldn't open up. However, what I don't like is sometimes when you open it, if this has a good bite on here and you go to open it, it'll actually, see, it didn't do it that time. However, sometimes it will lift the whole lid off. So that's, I'm sure if you put a little Vaseline, actually, if you put Vaseline on here, that would make it worse. But if you wear this, once it breaks in, I'm sure it won't do that anymore. So this is pretty good. However, there is more areas for it to, bacteria to get trapped in. And actually, there's one huge downside to the Ozark Trail lid. When you drink out of this, something about this 90-degree angle, it makes it, I gotta clean this as you can see, but it spills all over you. So this one has a much nicer little valley to it, and you don't get spillage. The Yeti lid is the way to go. Having watertight's nice, but again, if you take a sip out of this, for some reason, half the time I do, it'll spill out, and I think that's because it just doesn't have a nice contour. I don't know if you can see that good in the video, but it's just a big block here. And the Yeti has a nice channel. So that's something to consider. With the lids out of the way, let's talk about some physical features on these. Project Farm did a killer video putting these things to the test, so I'll put a link to his down below if you want to check it out. But, you got the raised Yeti logo on this one, and then the, that side too. This one just says Yuka-Ola on there, or Yuki-Ola, whatever. And then the Ozark Trail symbol on this one is embossed and raised. So these are pretty much identical lids up here. They're kind of rounded, and honestly, the Yeti's got the nicest rim on the top. But this Amazon one, kind of a sharp edge up there, and not a huge fan of it. Let's give them the old squeeze test. If I squeeze that one, you can see that bends in a good amount. And oh yeah, the Ozark Trail much tighter, and the Yeti about the same. Actually, it feels a little bit tighter than the Ozark. Sorry about the crud all over my fingers, guys. It's how your hands get as a mechanic. On the bottoms of these, the Amazon one says nothing on it, so that's not great. It doesn't show you how many ounces, nothing. The Yeti does show you where it's made. It's embossed Yeti. It shows how many ounces. It says BPA free. Okay, awesome. On the bottom of the Ozark Trail, there was a rubber pad, which I actually I ripped off because I found when I would go and set it on a table, I'd go to set it down and then almost knock the thing over because this pad was so grippy. So this just pulls right off, and now you can see it's kind of, it's got a big lip there now. But whatever, you don't have to do that. As far as keeping fluids hot and cold, these were all identical. I'm not going to waste your time on it, but I did fill them with boiling water, and then check them. And then I also used my Seek thermal imager and checked the outsides, which this one being shiny kind of threw the test off for the Amazon, because this is not too reliable if the surface is reflective. Which, by the way, if you haven't used one of these Seek thermal imagers before, I'll plug a link to this below too. These things are freaking awesome, especially for working on cars, you know, checking exhaust manifold temperatures for a misfire and all sorts of other fun things. So you'll find the broken pipe in a concrete floor. They work amazing. And I think we're nearing the end here, so which one would I suggest to buy? Not the Amazon one, not a huge fan. I would suggest getting the Ozark Trail, and then if you don't like this crummy lid, but again, it's great that it's waterproof, but it kind of sucks to drink out of. You go online and you get the $10 Yeti, or you can get these at Dick's too, or Sports Authority, if they even exist. The Dick's, I guess I should say, and that goes right on, and you have, you know, a nice Yeti lid on the Ozark. Of course, then if you're throwing it in your backpack, you can put the waterproof lid on there too, or interchange them. Is it worth spending $35 on a Yeti? I don't think so, unless you just like having that logo on there. This doesn't keep it hotter or colder any longer, and they are virtually identical in construction. It's a touch shorter on the Yeti. I'm gonna just cut myself off because I could keep going on and on. In the end of the day, yeah, $9 for the Ozark Trail. If you don't like the lid though, get the Yeti lid. I bet you they end up copying this mag slide lid eventually too, because it's pretty sweet. So if you liked the video, drop it a big old thumbs up. I appreciate that. Consider checking out the channel. And again, I've probably said it 6 times, but I'll drop those links down below. So if you want to support the channel, check those out because they're affiliate links. And yeah, this has been No Nonsense No How. Or No Nonsense No How. Geez, let me just say one last thing. If you haven't used a vacuum insulated mug before, you are really missing out. These things will never sweat, and they keep beverages cold for days, it seems like. This is the first one I ever had. It's a Stanley, and this thing's freaking awesome. But my biggest gripe with it was cleaning it. I can't fit my fat hands in there, and so I love these 30-ounce ones because if you know, unless you're using a brush, but when I'm cleaning these, I can just shove my hand in there with some soap and clean it no problem. So if you haven't tried a vacuum insulated mug out or thermos, whatever, you gotta try one. You'll be hooked.